Dubin. Jonathan Dubin. The best of both worlds. The best of all worlds. The best of both worlds and the best of all worlds. Jonathan Dubin.
Thank you, Mr. Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. The best of both worlds. The best of all worlds. In the best of both worlds, two people from different backgrounds can come together to create something that is greater than anything either of them could have created on their own. In the best of all worlds, people from different backgrounds, countries, races, and religions can come together to work cooperatively, to solve common problems, and to make the entire world a better place. When I was growing up, I never thought my life could represent the best of both worlds. My parents' backgrounds, interests, and values were so different that it was hard to imagine that anything good could come from their relationship. My mother was born in Boston, the daughter of Caribbean African immigrants. My father was born in Chicago, the son of Russian Polish immigrants. My mother was an analytical person who loved science, math, and making money. She loved to invest. My father loved the arts and poetry. He loved to sing, even though he had a terrible singing voice. He was an altruistic man who cared much more about others than himself. He spent most of his life working for a labor union, fighting for the rights and incomes of less fortunate working families. He couldn't have cared less about making money for himself. These two people had absolutely nothing in common. How in the world did they get together? The story of my parents' courtship is a classic he said, she said tale. To this day, I still don't know what really happened. The way my father told it, it was love at first sight. After only dating a short time, they knew they were made for each other. They quickly got engaged, married. I came along a short time later. The way my mother told it, my father was a stalker. He hounded her day and night. She wanted nothing to do with him. After only knowing him a short time, he invited her to a party. In the middle of the party, with their mutual friends in attendance, he made a surprise announcement. Excuse me, could I have everyone's attention, please? You paid attention. I'd like to thank everyone for coming to my engagement party. Engagement party, my mother thought? What is he talking about? Who is he getting engaged to? My mother quickly learned that the party was a surprise engagement party for my father and herself. She was quite shocked, to say the least. In a moment of stunned astonishment, she decided to go along with it to avoid embarrassing my father and herself in front of their friends. And as they say, the rest is history. For me, growing up a mixed-race child in the 1960s and 70s wasn't easy. There was great tension and hostility between the races at that time. There was the assassination of Kennedy and Martin Luther King. There were race riots. There was the emergence of the Black Power and Civil Rights movements. I felt all these conflicts inside me. At school, the other kids bullied and teased me for being different. They called me a half-breed. The way they talked about me made me feel ashamed and embarrassed to be seen in public with my family. It was not until I was older that I began to appreciate the benefits of being a child of parents from two different worlds. What I thought was a burden for so many years, I came to realize was a great advantage. I had a unique understanding of the histories, perspectives, and aspirations of the different races. From my mother, I inherited her aptitude for math and science, which has served me well in my career as a doctor. From my father, I inherited his love for the arts and poetry, and his terrible singing voice. He instilled in me his concern for the less fortunate in our society. That quality has helped me with my bedside manner when I interact with my patients and their families. I presently work in a hospital where the patients come from the African American, Russian, and Jewish communities. With my unique background, I believe I was destined to be there. The best of both worlds. The best of all worlds. Just as my life came from the best of both worlds, from two people who had nothing in common. Just imagine what could be accomplished if people from all worlds, from all countries, races, and religions could unite. Utilizing the best qualities from all of our worlds, we could work together to solve some of the greatest problems of our time. I'm talking about a real United Nations, free from hatred, jealousy, and suspicion. That's the world that I imagine for my children and your children. The best of both worlds. The best of all worlds. Thank you, Mr. Congressman.